So what's up guys, welcome back to our channel. So in this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto was in arranged marriage with Hanabi H. And if you want more then please leave a like, share and subscribe. Let's get in the video. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sandaime Hokage was conflicted, today was just not his day. With his paperwork not done even now, and it was 5 AM, his head was just waiting to blow off, and to top it off, Hyuga Hiashi was in front of him with his usual stoic look on his face, while holding a document so thick that he could tell it was decorated with seals. Hiruzen was not looking forward to any conversation with Hiashi with that document in his disposal. What purpose do you have to come at a time like this? Hiruzen finally asked, after a minute of silence since Hiashi came. The day is Uzumaki Naruto's 13th birthday, and that only reminded him to give Naruto his present after he finished with his paperwork. The marriage contract between my daughter and him was active months ago when Uzumaki Naruto had graduated from the academy. Hiashi was still all stoic, calm and formal. While he said that, the third Hokage reaction was a blink and a long sigh. Why choose now to inform me? I have a clan business to take care of. Hiruzen took a deep breath. Can you give me the contract? Hiashi handed him the contract. Hiruzen rubbed his temple after he received the document. He was tired, so many paperwork to do because of the upcoming Chunin exams. He was ready to go to his house to sleep all day after he finished the Tsunagakure paperwork, but this happened. After this he was ready to go home, paperwork done or not. Hiruzen began to inspect the document. There was a fourth Hokage's stamp and his signature, along with Kushina's, Hiashi's, and Akamis, Hanabi's mother. There was also a blood seal as the first layer, with the second layer, a chakra seal. There are so many seals to the point Hiruzen couldn't count exactly how many. There was also a bit touch of the Uzumaki sealing technique here and there, but the swirls and all. This was made by him and his wife, doesn't it? Hiruzen asked Hiashi, with his eyes still on the paper. Hiashi gave a short nod, yes, and there was also a few Hyuga clan seals in there, but Yondaime and his wife's seals were the ones that made this marriage contract almost impossible to break. Hiruzen hummed, after he was done inspecting the validity of the seals covering the paper, he read it out loud. This is a marriage contract between the firstborn son of the Uzumaki clan's head and the second-born daughter of the Hyuga clan's head. The condition of the marriage. 1. This marriage contract is an arranged marriage between the Hyuga clan and the Uzumaki clan. The female will have to take her husband's name too. This marriage contract is active the moment the Uzumaki child is out of the academy. 3. The female has to be no more than 10 years younger in age, with the husband to be. 4. The marriage contract is not forced upon, rather it was encouraged to introduce each other to prevent conflict between the husband-to-be and the bride-to-be. 5. If by any chance, one of them refused to acknowledge their marriage by the time they were 18, they have to give valid reasons as to why. 6. They can break out of the contract if the Yamanaka clan deemed them not compatible with each other, to the point they feel they will kill each other if they were married. 7. Both participants have to give effort to this marriage first, if later they want to break this contract. 8. Hide these conditions from the participant until the bride is 18. Hiruzen finished, humming a tune the entire time. He was nonplussed at a certain part though. Hiruzen stamped it with his stamp and signed it with his signature in the as active column. He used a clone technique over the paper to get one for his own, and handed the original to Hiashi. Hiashi was about to come out of the Hokage's room, but Hiruzen stopped him. "And I ask why it was your second-born daughter? It was so specific that it confused me," Hiruzen said while lighting his pipe. Hiashi paused. "Because at the time the marriage contract was made, the fourth already knew he was going to have a son, and I already knew I was going to have a daughter, with them 2 months apart in age. I could give him my firstborn daughter at that time, as she was confirmed as the heiress of the Hyuga clan, so it was decided to be my second-born daughter. If only I knew that Hanabi was more suited as the heiress, I would have changed the contract." But that, Hiashi exited the office. It was a bright day with clouds covering the sky with autumn leaves red and yellow everywhere. The temperature was around 9 degrees Celsius, and it was 8 in the morning. It was October 10th, and it was a certain someone's birthday. That someone's name was Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto was celebrating his 13th birthday with ramen, specifically, cup ramen, enjoying cup ramen upon cup ramen, which to him was incredibly delicious. The second ramen that was delicious to him. The first place for ramen deliciousness was, of course, Ichiraku ramen. Today was a day where everyone in Konoha would close themselves in their respective houses to remember the tragedy that had happened 13 years ago. The Kyuubi's attack. It was also the day Kyuubi was sealed inside Naruto. Meh, who cared about that beast? Naruto was too busy with his cup ramen to care. Yo, Naruto. And Kakashi decided to ruin his peace with his ramen with his appearance. Naruto was quite started. Kakashi-sensei Naruto was wide-eyed. "What are you doing here?" Naruto looked around and pointing a finger at Kakashi's face. "Why are you here without knocking?" Kakashi smiled and gave a peace sign. "What are you talking about, Naruto? We're ninja. Ninja don't knock, we sneak." Naruto pouted. Yeah, so what is it, sensei? You said that today there is no mission and training, right? said Naruto, while slurping his ramen slowly. I'm here to inform you that Hokage-sama required you in his office. Now, don't be late. Just like that, Kakashi was gone. Naruto gave a stink eye at where Kakashi once stood. And he said don't be late. Naruto grumbled, said that to yourself, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto was about to sit and eat again, but something caught his eyes. It was a big box with gift wrapper on it. It was there in the middle of his dining table. Must be Kakashi-sensei's, Naruto said to himself. Naruto got curious and inspected it. Here's a card attached to it. Happy birthday, Naruto. Use my gift well. And eat the vegetables I gave you. There are also lots of healthy foods in this box, so eat it okay. Kakashi-sensei. Naruto read it out loud with his eyes wider and wider with each sentence. He can't believe it, Kakashi-sensei knows his birthday. Naruto teared up. It was the second gift he had received this year, with his Konoha forehead protector from Iruka-sensei as the first, so he was happy. So happy. Naruto smiled, still tearing up, and opened the box. Vegetables, fruits, meats, mushrooms, cooking books. Naruto was utterly pissed off the second he took a look at them, but then when his eyes found something that was not uncooked foods or cooking books, and it's orange, a plus, he quickly grabbed it and looking at it like it was his lifeline. He grinned widely as he looked at it. This is the best gift ever. Interesting, but Kakashi was surprised the moment he heard the reason why Naruto was called to the Hokage's office, whose idea it was. I think it was not Hiashi's idea to arrange a contract between his clan and Naruto's clan. I think it was his wife and Kushina that arranged it. Kakashi nodded. It makes sense then. Kushina-san and Akemi-san were best friends. I see quite a lot of them together in public. Hiruzen tiredly looking out of the window. This is honestly not something I want to tell Naruto-kun myself. Kakashi, are you sure Naruto knows that I expected him here? Hiruzen asked the lazy silver-haired man. I told him to come here before I came here. Suddenly, there was a sound of a person running in the corridor hall, and from Hiruzen's experiences, it might as well scream Naruto is coming. With his lone eye curved, Kakashi smiled. That's Naruto. The door bursted open. Hey, Hokage Jiji, what is it that you called me here? Naruto walked in the office like he owned it. Hiruzen sent a smile at Naruto. Naruto was like a grandson to him that he didn't really mind the casual treatment. Happy birthday, my boy. Can you grab that chair on the corner and sit down? It appreciated. After doing what he was told to, Naruto began to ask. What's up, Jiji? Naruto glanced to his right and, Kakashi-sensei. What are you doing here? Oh, don't mind me, Naruto, please ignore me. Naruto's sweat dropped. Oh okay, what is it with the solemn look, Jiji? Hiruzen sighed. Kakashi. Hokage-sama, with all due respect, please do it yourself, Kakashi informed while reading his book, with a tone I don't give a fuck in his voice. Naruto quickly went antsy as he didn't grasp the situation, so he asked with a quick tone, just spit it out Jiji, I've got this cool gift from Kakashi-sensei that I want to try on, but I've got no mirror right now to pose. Naruto-kun, please pay attention to what I said, this pains me as well, but you have to accept it, you are a ninja, and a ninja is one who endures, yeah I know. Hiruzen smiled proudly. Okay, then, Naruto-kun, what do you know about marriage contract? Naruto's face immediately went all scrunched up. Apparently, they didn't discuss something as important as arranged marriage, or Naruto was not there when the class discussed it. In the ninja world, arranged marriage was common, like the Shoudame Hokage that was married to Uzumaki Mido, as a symbol of peace between Konoha and Uzushi Agakure. Hiruzen himself was in one as well with his deceased wife. It's something like marriage on a paper, or something. It's definitely something about marriage, right? Asked a doubtful Naruto. Hiruzen leaned back on his chair. Yes, but it's not a marriage on a paper. Marriage contract is what binds people into a marriage with certain conditions. It's an arranged marriage, with a marriage contract acting as the binding of the marriage. It was common for ninja or noble to be in one. Naruto blinked and blinked before he stated, that sounds difficult, and in Naruto's speech, that meant I don't understand a thing of what you say. Hiruzen, an expert of Naruto's speech, understood that Naruto didn't understand him, so he simplified it. It's a marriage that was arranged by someone in a paper. Oh, Naruto now understood, so, it's a marriage, but it's arranged by someone in a paper. Naruto rubbed the back of his head, looking like something had finally dawned upon him. Yes, Naruto-kun, Hiruzen said, and you are going to marry Hyuga Hanabi because you are in an arranged marriage with her now. Hiruzen dropped the bomb like it was real. Naruto's jaw dropped so hard it had produced a sound, and, as he stood there in the corner, Kakashi was glad he had enough backbone to defy his leader, or he might get a massive migraine explaining this whole arranged marriage thing to Naruto. Witnessing his leader trying to get the kid understand was enough. Hyuga Hanabi was a 7-year-old girl with dark brown hair that reached her mid-back and wide eyes, with a hint of lilac in them. Hanabi was talented in Juiken, Gentle Fist, a fighting style that her clan used alongside with their all-seeing eye Byakugan. She was so talented to the point she defeated her 12-year-old sister in a match 7 months ago, with great ease. Hanabi was considered a strong and brave individual, and with her quick and ruthless approach in fighting, she had quickly defeated her sister in the match without any form of hesitation, despite her being 5 years younger. Her father stated that Hanabi was a better ninja than her older sister because of that trait. While she kept quiet whenever her father praised her, Hanabi wasn't exactly agreeing that she was stronger than her elder sister, but she knew that compared to her sister, she was more resolute and decisive. Hanabi shook her head and glanced at the clock in the dining room. It was 8:30 in the morning. It was time for Hanabi to train with her father to be educated in the way of ninja as she was homeschooled. Unlike most children her age, who were already in their second year in the academy by now, the cause of her being homeschooled was, according to her father, due to her already stronger than a genin. She didn't need to be formally schooled. She didn't mind. Hanabi's hobby is to train with her father, so she was okay with being homeschooled. Hanabi made her way to her usual training room with a calm, reserved expression. She has to be calm, as she cannot afford to lose any energy from being anxious, since her training is usually a grueling 1 hour of warming up, 2 hours of training techniques jutsu, and 1 hour of trying to hit her father. After all that, she had to meditate to calm her muscles, read books that Hiashi recommended, and Hiashi asking questions involved about said books. Only after that, she could rest. It was tiring, sure, but she enjoys the feeling of being stronger and more knowledgeable each day. Hyuga Hiashi had his usual expression on his face when she entered the training room, that the Hyuga clan had to prevent some training or spar to be seen, with the room covered in seals that only several Hyuga members know about. Hiashi sat there, not standing and commanding her to prepare her stance to fight him the moment she entered the room. "Sit down, Hanabi, I have something to tell you." Hanabi stared with a bit of surprise at her father before she let herself to sit across her father in a Seiza position. Meanwhile, in the Hokage office, there were 3 people with 2 awkwardly staring at each other, and 1 reading a book without a care in the world. Not really, Kakashi was just being a cool eavesdropper. "Are you serious, Gigi? This is not a joke, right?" After regaining his strength in his jaw after losing its strength because of the bombshell that Hiruzen just dropped, Naruto stared wide-eyedly at Hiruzen with shock still written across his face. Hiruzen could only nod to confirm that he is, indeed, serious. Naruto gaped briefly and inquired, "Marriage? But that's only for grown-ups like Kakashi-sensei, are you?" Naruto looked at Hiruzen in the eyes with his eyes full of questions. "What's going on? Why me?" Naruto clenched his fists tightly on his lap. Hiruzen exhaled out with grief in his expression. "Naruto-kun, please calm down. I want you to listen carefully without interrupting. Can you do that?" Naruto looked down and letting go of his previously clenched fists. "I can." Hiruzen began, 13 years ago, approximately 5 months before you were born, a contract was made between 2 clans. The clans are the Hyuga clan and the Uzumaki clan. Naruto gasped but refrained himself from speaking. His face was hard to describe, but his teeth were clenched together to prevent himself from interrupting, even though he wanted to interrupt right there, and then, Naruto was willing to be quiet to obtain more information about his life. The contract is a marriage contract. The contract was active the moment you were out of the academy, to ensure that you were ready and mature enough to understand the importance of the marriage. Hiruzen took a deep breath. "Naruto-kun, the reason why you were chosen was that your mother made the contract with the Hyuga clan head's wife in the name of their friendship. However, this is only a theory, it could be wrong." When Hiruzen finished with his explaining, he realized that Naruto was breathing too fast and on his way to faint via hyperventilation. "Calm down, Naruto-kun, be calm, you can ask your questions now." Naruto, still breathing a bit fast, breathed out before uttering, "Can I get a glass of water? I'm a bit dizzy." Kakashi appeared in Naruto's line of vision with a bottle of orange juice. "Drink this." Naruto took the bottle without a complaint and started gulping it down until the last drop. "Thanks, Kakashi-sensei." "You are welcome, Naruto. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable, Naruto-kun, but this was necessary. Oh, and this is your birthday's present." Naruto took a box covered in a pastel wrapping, tracing it. "Thanks, Gigi." It was a whisper, but Hiruzen heard him loud and clear with his sharp hearing despite his old age. "You are welcome." Naruto put the birthday present from Hiruzen on his lap and asked in a clear, steady voice. "Can you tell me about my parents? Now that I have graduated from the academy and a genin for 6 months, I can know, right?" Hiruzen glanced to his side. "What do you think, Kakashi?" "That's ready," was Kakashi's short answer. Hiruzen looked at Naruto and said with a nostalgic smile, "Your parents are Uzumaki Minato and Uzumaki Kushina." Well, Minato-sensei was known to the village with his original name before marriage, Namikaze Minato. Since Minato-sensei and Kushina-san's marriage were kept in secret, Kakashi added, without looking away from his book, Minato had joined his wife's clan because her clan name had a higher standing than his own surname. Naruto was frozen. He only heard one name, Namikaze Minato. That was the name of his idol, the only Hokage out of 4 Hokages that Naruto bothered to learn the name. That name, Hess the 4th Hokage. Naruto was crying freely now, my father was the fourth. Naruto stood up and put Hiruzen's present on the desk. Kakashi and Hiruzen exchanged glances before nodding simultaneously. Naruto had had enough of this, then why would he seal the Kyuubi in his own son? Thanks to that, I have so many troubles with life, even now. Adults looked at me with cold eyes. I couldn't make friends. I wanted so hard to be acknowledged. I worked hard. I really do. Naruto used his sleeve as the replacement tissue to wipe his tears. Arg, I don't know if I'm happy or angry now. Naruto wiped his tears furiously, I don't know Tobeo. Kakashi was very uncomfortable watching Naruto crying like that, but it was for the best. Naruto needed to let out his pent-up frustration with his life by crying his heart out. Who knew the last time he did that? It was not healthy to repressed emotions in general and never letting it out. Kakashi could attest to that. He had to lock himself up in his room after a mission gone wrong, and the next day he was fine. It worked wonders, but some of his colleagues protested that was unhealthy. Naruto sobbed for a long 2 minutes, and then he seemed tired and tried to wipe his tears furiously. I want to know about my mom, Naruto croaked out. What was her name again? Uzumaki Kushina, Kakashi drawled out the name. Mom, what was she like? She was loud, chatty, easily angered. Actually, you take a lot of her personality, Naruto, Kakashi spoke with a nostalgic tone. Naruto grinned softly while still weeping. Knock, knock. Hiruzen looked at the door and said to Naruto that was busy wiping his face from the tears that just keep on falling. Naruto, there's your soon-to-be wife over there, behind that door. Hiruzen opened his drawer to fish out a handkerchief. Here, use this to wipe your face. Naruto snatched a handkerchief without looking up and continuously wiping his tears and snots. He felt relieved after weeping uncontrollably like that. Naruto-kun. But the last wipe, Naruto shook his head like a dog and slapped his face twice. I'm okay, Naruto said with a small smile, tell me more about mom next time. Kakashi glanced at Hiruzen and finally said to Naruto, I'd like to. Come in, Hiruzen said in a loud assertive voice after making sure Naruto was a bit presentable. The first to enter was Hiashi, with Hanabi following with curious yet uncertain look on her face. Hokage-sama. Ah, Hiashi, please have a seat, you too, Hanabi-kun. Hiruzen smiled at Hanabi who smiled back, although not as large. And now Naruto was sitting beside Hiashi, with Hanabi sitting beside Hiashi. Naruto was feeling on the edge what was with the reserved man sitting beside him. No one could blame him, as he was still not completely comprehended his situation. Knowing and understanding were different after all. Well, start now, Hiashi, does Hanabi-kun know? Hiashi looked to his left, she knows. Hanabi looked straight at Hiruzen, nodded her head in confirmation. Her father informed her about the marriage with an explanation of a marriage contract and a simple from now on, you are married to Uzumaki Naruto. But when she asked him why her, he said that the Hokage would explain. Hanabi needed an explanation, she needed it fast. Okay then, let's begin. I am going to explain why the two of you are going to be married, officially, at the end of this meeting. Naruto-kun, please introduce yourself. Naruto was instantly standing straight and robotically facing to the left, facing Hanabi. He looked at Hanabi in the eyes. Naruto introduced himself with an trying to be strong, but not really voice. Hi, my name is Uzumaki Naruto, what's yours? Let it be said that Uzumaki Naruto was never a polite person, even when he was nervous. Hanabi slowly stood up and said with a voice devoid of any emotions, my name is Hyuga Hanabi, pleased to meet you, and after a quick small bow, she sat back. Naruto awkwardly bowed back to her and sat back. Hiruzen cleared his throat, okay, first off, the reason why the two of you are going to get married today officially are because of the friendship that Naruto-kun's mother and Hanabi-kun's mother had. Hiruzen looked at Hiashi for a confirmation. Yes, it was my wife's idea to make a marriage contract. Hiashi put his hands in front of his chest. Second, to strengthen the ties between the Uzumaki clan and the Hyuga clan, Hiruzen continued. Naruto and Hanabi looked at each other with clear bewilderment in their eyes at that statement before focusing back to Hiruzen. Both Naruto and Hanabi had never heard of any Uzumaki clan, so they were mutually confused. The third is to produce unique children that are the combinations of both clans. Naruto's face instantly turned red, and he could not look even once at his left, where Hanabi was sitting. Hanabi titled her head to the side, still a very innocent 7-year-old girl that she is. She was very clueless about a certain activity that most married couples do to get offsprings. Hiruzen then stopped and stated, I think that is all. Hanabi was so confused because these reasons could apply to her elder sister, too. Why me? All heads turned to Hanabi, even the ever-silent Kakashi. Naruto looked at Hanabi with a stricken look, already expecting an outburst from her, but was surprised beyond belief at Hanabi's next sentence. Hanabi continued, those reasons could apply to Hinata Onasama too, why am I chosen for this? Even though Hanabi didn't know how serious a marriage is with her young age, Hanabi still knew that it was a very important thing only adults do. According to her father's books, Hanabi didn't hate the situation. She was feeling neutral about this arranged marriage. She knew this was called an omiai, with her parents as the Nakaudo the guide selector. She had no idea of how a marriage should be like with her mother died 2 days after giving birth to her because of an internal bleeding that was undetected, so she's not angry or anything. She was just upset at how sudden the situation was. Naruto looked at Hanabi, then at Hiashi. They have the same wide eyes with a hint of lilac. Wait a minute, Jai-chan said that her full name is Hyuga Hanabi, then, this Hanabi is Hinata's younger sister. Naruto pondered inside his head. She said that Hinata could marry me too with these reasons Jai-chan just said. I don't know how I feel about that. This situation is entirely too weird, Tebeo. You are chosen because at the time the contract was made, Hinata was confirmed as the heiress, so, when your mother informed me about the contract, I told her to not choose Hinata, as I know that once the first child is a girl, the following will be a girl also. Hiashi sighed. It runs in the family. It's not exactly a secret, but it was an embarrassing genetic flaw that Hiashi's wife hoped that the ever-dominant genes of both the Uzumaki clan and Minato's Namikaze family could fix. Hiruzen stared blankly at Hiashi. Came to think of it, Hiashi's father had 7 brothers, only 2 remaining though, because in Sengoku Jidai, the Warring States period, parents often had more than 4 children to keep the clan alive. Naruto out, not knowing how to react to that. The bulb appeared above Naruto's head after thinking about what Hiashi are saying, and he asked Hiruzen, my children, will be like, all boys or all girls? Hiruzen shook his head as if to say no, and then gazed at Hiashi to let him explain. The Uzumaki clan and to a lesser extent, your father's former family, is famous for their domineering genes. Just look at you, the Uzumaki clan is famous for their red hair. But you have blonde hair. In this case, your father's DNA was stronger compared to your mother, whose DNA should be so strong that once a relative of her married an Uchiha. Their first child did not inherit any traits of an Uchiha like dark hair or dark eyes, instead they had red hair and lighter eye color. The Uzumaki clan is the cousin clan of the Senju clans, so it was to be expected, but it's a surprise that your father's DNA thrive against his wife's. Hiashi paused for a bit. The purpose of this marriage is to see if the Uzumaki clan DNA combined with a strong Namikaze family DNA from your father can defeat the genetic flaws of the Hyuga clan DNA. Not only that, we wanted to see the strength of the children born from this arranged marriage. I think Kushina-san and Akemi-san thought they can make their child together and get this unique union's result between the Uzumaki and the Hyuga only as a bonus, Kakashi piped up randomly. Hanabi closed her eyes in understanding. To her knowledge, her mother had 9 sisters, with only one remaining sister still alive today. To think that it runs in the family to have only girls as children to the point her deceased mother married her off to a clan that had stronger DNA than the Hyuga. Hanabi never knew her mother, but now she was convinced that her mother was insane, and to a lesser extent, her father as well for agreeing with her mother. Naruto sighed in relief. He might be young, but even he knew that someday he wanted a family, and he wanted at least a girl and a boy. As for the mother of his children or his wife, if you asked Naruto 30 minutes ago, he would answer with I want Sakura-chan as my wife in the future. But now Naruto let the parts of him that wanted Sakura as his future wife crushed, because Hanabi will be his wife, starting from today. Besides, Sakura loved Sasuke so much that Naruto actually knew some parts of him already gave up on Sakura, because, compared to Sasuke, Naruto was nothing, at least to Naruto's grudgingly honest opinion, that he would not admit to anyone. Sasuke was everything that Naruto wanted to be. That was why Naruto liked and hated Sasuke at the same time. So today we're going to add Hanabi-kun to Naruto-kun's family registry to make the marriage official. Hiruzen scanned through his paperwork. Oh, I need Naruto-kun and Hanabi-kun to come forward to sign this. Hiruzen trailed off, searching for more paperwork. Naruto and Hanabi stood up and looked at each other, unsure of this. They didn't know each other, but they are married, since God knows how long, and now they are going to make it official. Naruto nodded at Hanabi, signaling her to go along with this. Hanabi looked at her father, and then looked back at Naruto. They have an unspoken agreement. Let's get this done with without a single complaint. They had already married anyway because of the contract, so, what was the point of not wanting to make the marriage official, anyway? It was bound to happen. Hanabi felt like she was already going through her daily training. Nobody told her that to make the marriage official required half of her chakra to sign the paperwork and a lot of blood by biting her thumb too. She was so dizzy now. Well, she was a ninja, not official yet, but she had already considered herself one, so she could hide the minor consequences of her blood and chakra being taken away in a large amount. Looking to her right, she found the mostly orange-clad ninja going through the paperwork that she had signed earlier with ease. Not long after, Naruto finished signing the papers. That took a lot of chakra and blood. What the heck, Jiji, you didn't tell me about this. Naruto glared at Hiruzen. That was mean, Jiji. Hiruzen smirked. Oh, you want to sign some more? Naruto's complexion turned a bit lighter. No, please, there is so much paper I can sign, Tebeo. Hiruzen chuckled, signing paperwork is a part of a Hokage's job. Naruto-kun, you wanted to be Hokage, right? You have to sign much more paper than what you did in a single day. Naruto gaped, but then realized that Hiruzen's desk was filled with papers. It was a nightmare. Wait, hey, Gigi, you could make a clone to do your job. It would be easier, right? Hiruzen sighed. Naruto-kun, are you talking about Kage Bunshin, Shadow Clone? Naruto nodded. It's impossible. If the creator of the clone just dumped his task to his clone, said clone would instantly dispel as they do not want to be used to do a task that even the original didn't want to do. The clones would only do the task if the creator himself is willing to divide the work between them, or at least, the creator wanted to do the task but can't because of certain circumstances. I know myself well, if I make a clone it would instantly dispel because a clone is only a copy of the original. It would know that I created it solely to do my job because I don't want to do the job myself. Naruto let out a huh. Naruto scratched the back of his head and said, that sounds complicated, but I guess you're right, Gigi. Once I made a clone with the intent to make it cook breakfast for myself, but it just disappears even before the smoke dissipates. I thought it was because I didn't give enough chakra, so I tried again and again, then I got tired of it and settled for Ichiraku ramen instead. Hiruzen chuckled a bit, knowing that Naruto's #1 favorite food is ramen, particularly miso chashu umori, large bowl of miso ramen with roasted pork fillet from Ichiraku ramen. Hanabi sweat dropped. Her husbands, she had to get used to that term. Relationship with the third Hokage was certainly an easygoing one, like a grandfather-grandson relationship. Hanabi cracked a small smile. She was content for an unknown reason. She should be mad, but here she was, smiling. Kakashi watched as Hanabi smiled. Kakashi suddenly got a very good idea. Naruto stopped his chattering. What is it, Kakashi-sensei? Kakashi glanced at Hanabi and Naruto. They are about 13 centimeters, 2 inches apart in height, with Naruto's 147, 4 centimeters, 4 foot 8 inches, and Hanabi's 134, 1 centimeter, 4 foot 3 inches. They look like a miniature couple if they stood beside each other, with proper clothes, as Naruto was wearing his old orange-blue jumpsuit and orange pants and Hanabi wearing her training clothes. You should take Hanabi out for lunch, you know, to get to know each other, Kakashi suggested. He looked at Hiashi. You won't mind, right, Hiashi-san? Of course, Hiashi really did not mind as he looked at his daughter, Hanabi. Training schedule for tomorrow will have extra hours than usual in exchange for no training today. Be back at 7. Hanabi looked at her retreating father and then glared the silver-haired shinobi. Why did he suggest that? She was not ready to spending time with her newly made husband. Then she looked at Naruto that was looking like he was contemplating over the suggestion. I have to pay for everything, Naruto surmised. Kakashi bobbed his down. Oh man, let me see my Gama-chan first. Naruto fished out his wallet from his pants front pocket. Gama-chan looked a little more healthy than Naruto had ever seen, and Naruto suddenly remembered why. Oh right. The Wave Country mission. I have extra money this month. Naruto opened his wallet excitedly while grinning like a madman, his mouth stretched even more the moment he looked at how much money he had. Alright. Hanabi, let's go. With an excited jump, Naruto processed to run from the office after grabbing the pastel-covered box that he received from Hiruzen. Hanabi just stood there, letting Naruto out of her sight, completely taken aback. After 5 seconds, she regained her composure and shouted, wait. Hiruzen let out his pipe out and lighted. That was exhausting. Indeed, Kakashi flipped a page of his book. Now, what is it that you wanted to talk about with me? Instantly, Hiruzen's face became pained. Jiraiya is coming home. Knowing Jiraiya, Hiruzen would be receiving so many complaints in the form of paperwork from a lot of Konoha's women in the near future. I told you to wait, didn't I? She poked his back once, and that was his cue to stop running to the Ichiraku ramen stall. His back had a weird tingle, and that was just uncomfortable for him to ignore. Naruto repressed the urge to whine, because that wouldn't sound manly. I'm just excited. It's not every day I have this much money. He finally expressed his enthusiasm to the person beside him. After a silence occurred between them, Naruto lazily made a clone and sent it to take Hiruzen's gift to his apartment while waiting for a response from Hanabi. Sizing up and down the blonde boy in front of her, she came to a conclusion. Hanabi sent a calculating gaze to her taller company. Are you poor? With that, Naruto froze, his hands clenched inside his pockets tightly. He didn't know what to say or what to do now. Damn, and it was only a few seconds since he was alone with his new wife, and he had managed to screw up by mentioning his money problem. So, we're married, he said, in the end. He didn't want to answer her question, that she knew clearly, but somehow, it agitated her. Hanabi stared at her newly made husband and said with a deadpan tone, yes, my dear husband. Hanabi smiled, but Naruto saw that it didn't reach her eyes. Of course we're married. And an exasperated tone thrown in that sentence. Naruto winced when those lilac-tinted wide eyes directed at him with such intensity. What am I supposed to say then? Naruto sighed. It's his birthday, and suddenly it was also the day he got married, officially. What are we gonna do now? Even though he didn't want to ask a girl that was 5 years younger than him, he knew he didn't have a clue to what his parents were thinking when they made him marry someone before he took his first breath in this world. For a starter, are we going to make this a secret or not? Hanabi asked, with her arms behind her. I vote to make this a secret, just for the time being, as I'm not exactly fond of stairs. Naruto froze in his track, looking around. He knew that he was alone with Hanabi. No prying ears that heard Hanabi calling him dear husband. He forgot that he, as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, was a living pariah of the village, and if they know that Hanabi were married to him, why yeah. Let's make it a secret. Naruto laughed, nervously. I mean, you're like 7, right? You're not an adult yet. If you're yet to graduate from the academy or so, Iruka-sensei said to me that one time in the Ichiraku ramen stall, when I tried for the 7th time to wear his forehead protector to get a feel of it. Naruto-san, I think I understand, so please stop rambling. Sorry. Phew, Naruto thought while patting his chest. Safe. Naruto was not ready to open up to his newly made young wife about his burden. Well, Naruto wasn't exactly vocal when it comes to the matter of himself. His dream becoming Hokage or defeating Sasuke were exceptions though. Something with a negative stigma wasn't something Naruto liked to broadcast, plus, he just knew it a few months ago from his former sensei turned traitor. Yep, he definitely was going to wait for the right time to tell Hanabi. They kept walking until they arrived at Ichiraku, more precisely, Naruto led Hanabi to the stall. Hanabi took a breath and asked, really? Hanabi put her hand at her hip, I already ate breakfast. Naruto looked at her and grinned, it doesn't matter. It could be an early lunch, and besides, Naruto walked inside, ramen can be eaten anytime you want, right? Come on. He'll pay. Hanabi hesitantly walked in and took a seat to Naruto's left. Welcome. Tucci greeted the two, and then he noticed his favorite customer. Oh, Naruto. The usual. Yeah, and one more bowl because I didn't eat breakfast today. Oh, and a plate of gyoza too. Humming. Hanabi read the menu and she grimaced at it. She liked banana and milk, so she liked food that wasn't strong in flavor. So, one salt ramen, please, she said. Finally, after considering the times when she tried all the expensive ramen in the Noddle country, she likes salt ramen because it's actually not as salty as soy sauce broth or as strong in flavor as miso, ironically. Humming. Hanabi silently pondered her situation. Ramen. Really? She huffed. This was very different than what happened in the books. Clearly, the romance books were mistaken. Maybe this wasn't a date. Thanks for watching.